Hello?
Hello, this is Toby.
Toby, I tried to ring you.
My apologies. Nothing happened at this end.
No. Oh, well, I had an AI or something tell me that you couldn't take the call at this time. But it's all right. Let me introduce you to everyone around the table. Frank Pangello, former member of Parliament.
Has-been politician.
Not a has-been politician. Brilliant journalist.
Hello, Frank.
G'day, Toby.
Because Toby Ralph is into marketing, but I think when I met you first, you were in advertising, weren't you?
I was in advertising, and I've carved out a terrible career in propaganda.
Oh, well, we will all benefit from a discussion with you. Dr. John Bruni, and we've got Tony and Gary. So
okay, great.
It's a nice, and Caroline. And it's a nice dining room table at which we all sit, metaphorically.
Yes.
How lovely.
Yeah, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. You left Adelaide. What year was that?
I left Adelaide about 30 years ago because I was very fond of Adelaide. I moved to Melbourne because there's a naught on the end of every project over here, and I'm an avaricious, dreadful person.
No, ambitious.
And that's a nicer way of putting it. Well said, Jeremy.
The Prime Minister wouldn't like it. Yeah. It doesn't like aspiration.
And I have worked on an awful lot of awful political campaigns. I've worked on more than 50 around the world, from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. I worked on
Afghanistan.
Tell us, that got to be a challenge. Did you have security guards everywhere you went?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I absolutely did. In fact, I was on a team of 27 and 6 got killed. It was I thought it would be dinner party danger. It was actually property dangerous. So I got out as soon as I could. In fact, I kept a diary and Penguin published it, strangely. But anyway.
What was it called? What was it called?
It was called Kabullshit.
That's a good podcast.
Anyway, I've done lots of elections. I'm a marketing bloke, and I kind of work in persuasion at the intersection of business and politics. That's what I do.
Well, if you were advising Pauline Hanson, what would you be saying?
Oh, I'd say 3 things to her. I'd say, and in fact, I've said them to her as it happens. I've said you need, 1, to get more professional, and I'll expand on these. You need to be more professional. Secondly, you need to get greater policy depth. And thirdly, you need to introduce a sort of post-Bogan phase to your party. Can I talk about each a tiny bit, Jeremy?
No, absolutely. The floor is yours.
All right. So professionalism, they're getting tremendous support from a whole lot of people, but they're still a vaguely chaotic party. Some of their candidates say the most extraordinary things, and it brings them into a degree of disrepute. They need to professionalise their governance. If they want to move from being a party of protest to being a really serious, enduring political force, they need to have stronger structures, stronger government, better candidates, and all that sort of thing is point 1. The second thing is they have a lot of popular policies, but they're not famous for detailed costings and things. If you want to run government, you've got to have, economists with thick glasses and boring accents get poring over all the details and making sure it's all right. And it can't all be good news policy. You've got to have a bit of tough love in there too. If you're going to cut $90 billion, as they say they will, let's see a list. Let's see the good things about that. Let's see the negative impacts. Let's see some serious economic cred. And the third point there is deboganising for a point. They've done very well. They speak in very plain terms with a lot of people who like it, but their market it tends to be outer suburban people without a university education. They don't appeal to people who don't speak English at home. unsurprisingly. They are hopeless with Gen Z, and if they want to attract the next tranche of people, which they need to win a number of seats, they're going to have some spokespeople who a lot of people agree with what they're saying, but not how it's said. And they need some people who can deliver it in a more palatable way for those groups, I think.
And you've got to have a disciplined, because the Labor Party, one of the great strengths they have is that they are very, very disciplined. Nobody steps out of line.
Yeah, but they've been around for a while, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, they've got a war chest. Well, Pauline's now got a war chest, Toby.
A bit of a one.
She has.
So, no, they've got a big war chest. And, some of the points you make are quite pertinent. You're right about that. They've won the popular battle now. Now's the time to sort of dig the trenches and start getting the expertise in, which I think they will.
Yeah.
And she knows that.
I think they are. I think they are. It's just what do you break while you're doing it? Because it's a transformation is a tough trick. But they brought in a bloke called Kelvin as their general manager, who is a very good transformational specialist, and he's trying to make some of those changes, I think. It's not an enviable job.
No, but what would you say to Angus Taylor though, Toby?
Oh,
what
He's got a very tough job too. I mean, where we are, I was talking about this a while ago, and I was saying there's a movie, a Bruce Willis movie, where we see Bruce and there's a young kid in it called Haley Joel Osment, and he clutches his face seriously and says, "I see dead people," and at the end of the movie, you work out that Bruce has been dead the entire time, and he hadn't actually worked it out. And I think to a degree that's certainly the two-party system, and it might actually be the Liberal Party unless they're careful. So what I'd say to Angus is you got to get back to you can only win from the centre. Pauline's going to take the right. If you're going to have a right-wing fight, you're going to lose it because you might win that fight, but you're going to lose the centre, and Labor will be stuck there forever. The Teals will expand, the Greens will expand, and you'll just become a party of the right. He's got to win from the centre, and that's a tough call.
But what can you do? What's one of the things that he should be doing to try and put that flag in the sand and be heard? Because He just, this is the thing with the Liberal Party, both federally and state-wise here, is they just can't seem to make much headway in winning media exposure the right way. No. They can't recognise an opportunity, how to pitch it and how to sell it to the public. And I think this has been part of their problem, Toby.
I completely agree. I think one of the things they have to do is return to that dreary old subject of economic management and debt. They have an inherent, Labor are always going to be seen to be the party that care a bit more about nurses and schools because that's their brand. The Liberals, be it true or not, will be seen to be the company that knows more about money. Australia has got this addiction to debt. I was working out the other day what was government debt on January the 1st, 2000, and what's government debt today, and how much have we spent per day since then, every day, for the last 26 years, more than we've raised. And that sum is around $150 million a day, which is just a staggering.
It is.
I know.
It resembles Argentinarism, right? Peronism.
Absolutely.
Banana Republic stuff. But isn't it true that just this year, 20 years ago, Peter Costello had paid off, admittedly it was the money from the sale of Telstra, but we were debt-free in 2006.
Peter exactly Costello. Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, Peter should really stick his hand up again and take one for the team and do some work. I mean, we've got Tim Wilson now, who's very good, actually. He's a very good shadow treasurer, but he's still finding his feet and he doesn't have any power. But Peter did a great job. And, the Liberals' natural space is to say this money, why do we have declining services? Why do we have inflation? Why do we have hospitals that can't quite afford things at the local level? Why do we have all these problems? Because we've got this mountain of debt that we have to pay, and we've got to address that. Otherwise, young kids are going to be saddled with it, and you think things are unaffordable now, they're going to get so much worse.
Yeah.
So I think that's a territory on which they can make some real ground and hopefully do some good for the country.
Yeah, your reference to the opposition treasurer. So the other thing I've noticed about him, which is lacking in the Liberal Party, both federally and state, is he's able to land leather, right? He's able to land a punch and people notice him. And, his attack on Rishworth and others, right? Which is all they can really do at the moment, is try and land some leather. And try. What I'm saying is they're missing, Toby, is a bit of narcissism.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, bastardry, right? And look, mongrellism, right? Because in fact, there's an even stronger word that one of my Labor colleagues was saying to me last year, right, about the Liberals, what they lacked, right? He said what we've got and what they don't have, right?
What is it?
Well, it's a very strong. I'll tell you off air, Jeremy.
No, tell me on air.
No, I'm not going to tell you on air because you'll be pulled off air. It's such a strong
word. Wild West. Nobody has any rules here.
Well, it's sort of similar to a female sexual organ. Right?
Oh, I see.
Right?
I get
and
you.
And they don't have that. And he said to you, kept saying to you, which is something we have. We know how to get into the trenches and fight. Bare-fisted, right? We know what to do. In other words, they know how to find and get scalps, and that weakens a party. Now, when I'm told by the Liberal Party, firstly, restrict or stop doing your media, right? All right, don't do media.
Well, you do media brilliantly.
Well, I was told not to, otherwise I'd be disendorsed, right, if I went out and did media without them knowing or whatever. That wasn't me. And then I'm told, because I was pretty critical of the Premier over a number of issues, right, that was going on, so I was attacking the Premier in online. And I'm told twice, don't attack Peter Malinauskas.
Why?
Because our voters like him.
Yeah.
You're going to hit me over with a feather duster.
He's bulletproof.
Our voters like him. And I said, well, hang on, isn't it our job to make sure that the electorate doesn't like him?
You would think.
But so apparently they did some polling amongst Liberal voters and they all liked him. So lay off him. And you'll notice generally they don't go after him.
Right? No. Toby, it's a dog's breakfast, really. In politics today, it used to be kind of clean cut. But not anymore.
No. It's. The big picture is, of course, that we're seeing the evaporation of the two-party system, which echoes a whole lot of other things going on in society.
But why not bring in? Why not bring in the parties of the left? Pauline Hanson has been at this very table when she was last in Adelaide, and she said, look, I will not enter a formal coalition with the Liberal Party, but I will seek to have a collection of like-minded people doing what has to be done, which is getting rid of Labor. In other words, she'll guarantee supply and confidence, but she doesn't want to be told what to do by the Liberals. Now, there are various other parties of the right. It couldn't be that difficult to just come together in a marriage of convenience.
It's a marriage that won't work, Jeremy.
Well, a lot of marriages don't work.
No, well, this one won't. I can tell you now. I can predict it now. It won't work. A marriage between one nation and the coalition, Nationals and the Liberals, won't work. They'll be at each other's throats, and it's who's going to be in control. and who's going to get this and who's going to get that.
But isn't it true that Pauline Hanson is going to need expertise?
She is
on a front bench.
But you can get that. You can get that, Jeremy. They'll be able to get that. It's out there. There are people that are now starting to gravitate who were former Liberal supporters that have had a gut full of them, and even there's some disaffected, conservative Labor minds that are also looking, saying, "Well, okay, only because." They can see they can hitch their wagon to a populist movement.
Good.
That's what it is.
Promising. Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening. I haven't seen. Look, in all my years, so I had more than 50 years in public life as a journalist and then as a politician. I have never experienced what we're seeing now.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Wouldn't be dead for quids.
Well, when we're dead, they'll be talking about it and they'll be writing books about it.
What did you say, Toby?
You look at this latest fundraising that she did on the Fire the Liar campaign. Yeah. They've had, I don't know what the number is at the moment, but it was looking like about 4 million. And it's all done in $50 bits. I think $56 is the average donation.
You know what Labor got, Toby?
I guess 20 grand or something.
Yeah, you're right. 27,000 apparently.
Labor got $27,000. Well, why would we be giving them the money?
I mean, you think of that, and that's 75,000 people or thereabouts who've tipped in their own money, and most of them are battlers from the burbs, and there are, I think, about 35,000 Liberal Party members. There are about 50,000 Labor Party members, I think, and this is 75,000 people who voted with their paychecks for what she's saying and doing. It's formidable.
Well, the Liberal Party were beneficiaries of a very generous donation from a philanthropist here, Pamela Wall. I think it was about 5 million.
Oh, she's a remarkable.
She's a remarkable philanthropist.
Drowning in money.
How did they make their money? He was one of the three Codan, wasn't it?
Codan.
Ian Wall was one of the three founders.
And that's a multi-billion-dollar company with contracts all over the world.
Her shares are worth $1.4 billion.
So it's through Silicon Valley, isn't it? Is it?
No. Codan is a radio company that started in Grave Street, Newton.
Yeah, but what did it branch out into?
It made HF radios and it made satellite gear. Yeah. Now it's into metal detectors.
That's it, the metal detectors.
Yeah, they bought Minelab in 2007.
And they lived just around the corner from here for years and years and years till he died. And she's still going, I believe. Is she?
She's early 90s and she's trying to give away
trying to give away money. Oh dear.
I stand ready to help.
I remember he had a most beautiful silver ghost Rolls Royce.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But he deserved every bit of his success. And
but you're not going to find generous benefactors like that, are you?
No,
in the
not
political
every
party. Yeah, and to give them that much. And they had that money prior to the state election. And what did they do? What did they do with it? Nothing. There were no attack ads. No. In fact, I remember them telling me there was this call flute of an ambulance, right? And the original wording on it was basically that Labor had killed people through ramping, right? I can't think of the exact wording, but
true.
It was very clever, right? And true. But they got spooked and changed it. And, of course, we've just had an inquest that came out that slammed Labor for the deaths of 3 people because of ramping. So it was true. But this is what I'm saying. They're scared to fight, Jeremy.
Toby, you know what ramping is?
I do know what ramping is. Oh, yes. I certainly do. We're pretty good at it here in Victoria, too.
It's actually a worldwide problem, to be quite honest, Jeremy.
I'm surprised with Labor's lying in Canberra and the behaviour of Jacinta Allen and what the CFMEU scandals and all of that in Victoria. I can't believe that they are...
still there, in it.
Still there.
It's astonishing. I mean, there's an election in November, but there's an uphill battle. You've got One Nation who are going to do very well in the regions. You've got Liberals who should pick up a few seats, but will probably lose a few because they've got more marginals than Labor. And you've got Labor who will fight tooth and nail to defend their territory. It's going to be an interesting election. It's not even in this ghastly situation where there's $15 million of corruption to the CFMEU, where there's $200 billion. Sorry, that's billion. $200 billion of state debt, where there's awful things happening here, and the state in a great state of disrepair. They're still not. It's still not automatically going to get kicked out. It's amazing.
Well, is it because the opposition leader isn't really making an impact? I mean, I see a lot of her videos and stuff, and there's some clever ones that I've seen her do. But are they taking her seriously? Is she the type of leader? See, this is what Labor here have a fantastic leader, probably the best politician I've seen in 50 years.
And Liberal voters like him.
Exactly. But over in Victoria, there isn't an outstanding leader to take on the Labor Party, and I think that's the issue. What are we waiting for? But how would you pitch it over there in November, Toby, with... I'm sure that the One Nation are going to utilise the Fire the Liar campaign in Victoria because, the Andrews and Allen governments have been liars. You could fire the liars. I mean, that's a very, very powerful slogan.
Are they going to put a statue up to Andrews?
Well, they have, haven't they?
I think it's in the making.
It's in the making.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Toby, you'll have to come on the show again.
Yeah.
Do you ever get back to town?
I'd love to.
Do you ever get back to town?
I do. I'm lucky enough to be on the board of a winery there, Shaw and Smith. Terrific wine.
Yeah, they are.
Very good.
Get a plug in. So I come there occasionally, and I'll come and infest your studio and sit around your table with you.
I think
you'll love that because Jeremy loves the wine flying.
That would be fantastic. Yes.
Okay. All right. Many thanks, guys.
Toby, thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure. Take it easy. Bye.
Appreciate it.